Hey, all you zombie fans out there, this is Matt Jarba, host of The Zurvivalist, and I'm here with a very special really zombie Q&A interview with KC Wayland, the writer, producer, director, creator of We're Alive, the zombie story of survival. KC, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Matt. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for being on. I know you got a busy schedule with season two coming out, and I just kind of wanted to touch base with you on a few things and give the fans something more to salivate over while leading up to the release of the new season.
Of
So
course.
I just want
I'm
to start
all
off.
ears.
Uh, I just want to start with the question. Where did We're Alive come from? Where did the idea stem?
It was uh, about a year ago, actually more than that now, back in I think of like I'd say April-ish or March of 2009. Shane Salk and I were working on a script. Matter of fact, we were working on three scripts at the same time, a trilogy, in fact, that we wanted to actually produce into a film eventually. And we kind of were working on it, and we were really excited about the story. We loved where it was going. We loved all the characters. We loved what was going on. But the problem we had with it was we'd never in a million years be able to produce it because we had all these different elements that, oh man, this would be like millions and millions of dollars to produce this, even independently, we wouldn't be able to.
Hmm.
So we're like, okay, well, what can we do? So we kind of split up for about a week or two, thinking about what other projects we might be able to uh, interested in. And then I came up with this idea of why don't we do a serial radio drama zombie style? And he said, I love it. He was a big fan of old radio dramas back in the day, like The Shadow and stuff. And he said, yeah, we can do all these things. And we both love the idea of writing something, continuing with those characters in the story in a zombie world or post-apocalyptic world. Because a lot of people, they just seem to like in a zombie film, you're jumping into the characters and they're jumping out, and you don't really get attached to anyone, and you don't get to see what it's like in their daily, struggles. And we really thought that this would be like a great bubble to start this amazing little project.
That's it's it really is amazing, and I know that you guys have been like really increasing in popularity and just fans in the last few weeks, especially with season two on the way. And so when you sat down to write the script, was it you and Shane, or did you guys? Because I've seen you guys have assistant writers on on your cast of your credit list on your website. So do you guys like all get together and like hash out the stories and kind of divvy it up, or?
Well, it's what we started out doing was in the very beginning was I created an entire outline for the series, kind of rough sketch, and then we have like little writers' workshops where we'll go through and bounce ideas off every back and forth between everybody. And then the primary writer was actually myself, still am actually, where I'd go through and I'd write a rough draft of the script and then polish it out, bounce the ideas off of Shane. He would go through my draft, do revisions. We'd hammer out some stuff, and then go from there. The assistant writers that came on, we did have Catherine Botts, who worked as an assistant writer, who did write some episodes. I believe she wrote two or three last season. But it's a lot of still a lot of collaboration, a lot of like, okay, well, here's an idea, rewrites and go through. We'll do this. Okay, cross that out. This scene doesn't work. Let's do this. So it was a lot of collaboration there. But primarily with season two, it's gone back to the roots where it's Shane and I pretty much doing most of the writing for the series again.
Very cool. Now I know that Shane he plays Angel on the show, and I'm wondering, is Michael based on you? Because I know that you have military history.
Yeah, a lot of yeah, I can confirm that. There's a lot of things that are pieces of him that I would say come from me just because either I would say them or they're from my little experiences. Like in the very beginning, Michael's struggle through college was something that I went through. And it was something like I went to college for 8 years off and on because of the military. I'd go off on a deployment or off on a training mission and come back. And so it took a long time to finally graduate. So I kind of put that personal experience in there because I'm like, you know what? I have to write something that I know. So I kind of put that in there. But at the same core, I do make him different and I do make him, go off in his own direction from my own, adventures of military-ness.
Well, okay, so in speaking of the character of Michael, because he is the main character, and he's a fantastic, well-rounded three-dimensional character. But I've noticed that when it comes to Michael, the one thing that he can't seem to grasp is the concept. I mean, he's generally been, but love. It seems like in the beginning, he's in college and he's, that girl's like, hey, you want to come to this party? And he's like, oh yeah, no, not really, and then, Pegs has been hitting on him and he has trouble really expressing his emotions towards women. But he does say, when Angel and Sal are gone, that, he doesn't know if he could, live without them, more or less. Is that kind of like, is that just a character arc, or is that, is Michael finally going to accept, like, letting love in his heart, kind of?
Michael's been through a lot. He's this is where, if you were to say it's based off of me or not based off of me, this is where he goes into his own territory. Michael's had some experiences in his life that makes him more detached from people. We will explore that a little bit more in the second season. Um, I can't give too much about it, but I will say that he there's a lot that's gone on with him. There are some scenes that are missing out of season one. Actually, only one in particular that people can remember. It's always that notorious doesn't want to talk about it right now scene that happens in what was it, I think believe chapter 8
Oh, right,
with
yeah. When
where he
he
goes missing.
separates from Angel and Riley.
Yeah, so there's stuff that happens in there. There's a lot of things that the audience doesn't know fully about Michael yet that will come about, but it's part of his general arc of what he has to go through as a character.
Now, I guess, without giving too much away, like, who is your favorite character so far? Like, not just so much the right for, but also just which character has kind of just come up and been more than what you could have, you imagined in the beginning.
Um, I would want to say Bert, but at the same time, I kind of knew from the very beginning that he was going to be very popular just because he's a combination of a couple people that I really admired that I worked with both in the military and were part of my personal life. So it's a kind of a combination of people that really they would grasp this just everyone around them and just pull them together, real leader types. And I thought, he's going to be perfect for that. So I really enjoyed that. But there's one character in particular that I think is one of my favorites, but has not been fully explored yet, and that's the character of Scratch. Just because she has a lot going on that we have no idea about yet, and there's such a rich background to her that's yet to be explored. That I can't wait to come out in the series.
So she's definitely not going to be. I was wondering because, at the end of season one, Latch gets killed by Pegs, and then she just goes nuts, and she goes, I mean, completely ape shit.
Spoiler alert!
Oh,
Spoiler
sorry.
alert!
Spoiler alert. Spoiler. I assume everyone by now is listening to the show, and if you're not, then you need to. Uh, but with the ending, the way that it was, and I was wondering because I honestly will say that I want that character dead. That this because every time she's there, like this, like the first time you meet her and Latch and that whole scene with Sal, Lizzie, and Bert, I was just like, I'm like, just shoot her, just just pull the fucking trigger, take her out, just. But then because she gets under your skin, and that's a sign of a great character because she keeps coming back, and you're like, would someone just punch her in the face and get it over with? Um,
Oh my! It's she. Oh, there's so. If you hate her now, just wait. That's all I can say. But she's got so much more going on, and now she's got a lot more motivation for the direction that she wants to go. Because you can imagine, if you were her in the first series, where the only person in the world that you can like that's got your back and can understand you is your brother, and you lose him,
yeah.
it's it's going to mean the world to her. And you can just imagine what she might be capable or willing to do because that's happened to her.
That's true, and so I assume we're gonna see more of Mr. Durai this season.
That would be a safe assumption that you
Yeah,
might
because
might see him.
it's because I mean, given the way that the season ends and everything, and